Mind's clear? Deuteronomy or Devarim chapter 6 at verse 4. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Akkad.
Yahuwah Akkad.
This is Exodus. Or Shemot. Exodus or Shemot chapter 20 at verse 3. We will have no other mighty one.
We will have no other mighty one
against the Most High.
Against the Most High.
We will not make any carved image.
We will not make any carved image.
Or any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of that which is in Shamayim above.
That which is in Shamayim above.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
We will not bow down to them.
We will not bow down to them.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them.
For Yahuwah our
Yahuwah
is a jealous enemy,
is a jealous enemy.
visiting the wicked of the fathers on the children, to the third and fourth generation of those that hate him, with showing kindness to thousands of those who love him and keep his commandments. We will not bring the name Yahuwah in vain, for Yahuwah will not leave us unpunished, who brings his name in vain. We will remember the Shabbat day to keep it Kodesh. 6 days we will labor and do all our work. But the seventh day is the Shabbat, Yahuwah. For in 6 days, Yahuwah made Shamayim and the earth and the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore, Yahuwah barak the Shabbat day. We will respect our fathers and our mothers, so our days are long upon the earth. We will not murder. We will not commit adultery. We will not steal. We will not bear false witness against our neighbor. We will not covet anything that is our neighbor. Father Yah, we give thanks to you on this day for allowing us to come together for you, Father, to learn more about you, to get better in a better stance with you, Father. We ask that everybody that's under the sound of my voice, Father, that you rain down your ruach upon us, Father, and allow us to accept your word as truth. Allow us to leave this place better than when we came. Allow us to be able to walk in your statutes and your commandments, Father, in full assurance of faith, Father, wanting nothing. Father, we ask that if anybody is on their way here, Father, that you get them here safely. And when we leave here, Father, we ask that you get us back to our destination safely, Father. All these things we pray and give thanks. Bashem, Yahuwah, Babakah, Yeshua, Hamashiach, Ruach HaKodesh, so be it.
So be it.
All right. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see y'all again. I was missing in action last week. I was kind of too sick to come. But I have to say this. That was like the first Shabbat I missed in, I don't know, like 6 years, 5, 6 years, right? It was the worst day of my life. I missed y'all, man. So, do we got any visitors? I wasn't here last week. I don't know if y'all came or y'all came.
Yeah, we came last week.
Okay. No doubt. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Before we get into it, just to speed everybody up to where I left off, we're doing a 3-part series. Brother Martin swears that it's a 5-part series, but we got the tape to prove it, that it was only 3 parts to it, right? Yeah, no, we didn't go to it and pull it out yet. Shalom, yeah. But this series was called "Is the Black Woman God?" Right? Or the Black Woman is God? Really? Right? Anybody remember why we chose to go with that title? Anybody remember what part 1 was about? What was part 1 about?
The wife.
Wife being a good helpmate? Okay. What else? What was part 1 of the series? Just to bring back everybody up to speed. About submitting to each other, the husband and wife.
And the wife had a important role in like how like Messiah is like he is to y'all, and like the point to y'all is like the wife is to the husband.
Indeed, we're gonna revisit that. How important the wife's role is in the home, right? Like I was saying last time, we tend to lose that when we dealing with our people, especially those that are conscious and awake. You know what I'm saying? We tend to lose the importance of our women, and this is what's causing a lot of our women to go into different sects of beliefs. So you got Kemet, right? Where they say that the black woman is God, right? A lot of our women flock to it because better, so to speak, right? They get put on a higher pedestal. So whether the doctrine is correct or not, they just know it's better than how they was getting treated over here, right? So we gonna revisit a couple things, and we gonna go into some extras. Now, me and last time I said this time we gonna have to, poke at us a little bit, right? So we will. Women, y'all ain't off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Although the black woman is not God, right? You do hold an important role, right? With great with great power come what? Great responsibility, right? So when you see that your position, or you can actually see that your position is elevated to what you knew of beforehand, that means that you have to elevate your actions. You have to get on that level, right? So like I did last time, we're going to go through a couple scriptures that a lot of people hit and say, oh man, the woman don't mean nothing. She's just a doormat. She's a second-class citizen. We're going to hit those first. Then we're going to systematically tear them down and show how it's not so if you actually know the book, right? So it's not just a lesson for the women. It's a lesson for all of us, right? I see sister over there smiling like, yeah, we're going to get it. Let's get it. All right, get Genesis chapter 2. Actually Genesis 3. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
So it says, see, look at that Bible, right? It say the woman gonna have pain and childbirth and the whole nine, and then her desire gotta be her husband. Why she can't have her own desires? Why she gotta desire her husband? Right? Now again, people try to take this stuff, they try to twist it, they try to make it something that is not, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
I'm going to finish it out.
Go ahead.
And he shall rule over you.
And he shall do what?
He shall rule over you.
Oh, man. Sister, come on now, sister. You going to believe a book that say a man going to rule over you? You the one who make the babies. You the one who bring forth life. Right? Now, although this seemed like a topic that's not so important, it is. Because even if a woman doesn't go off into the Kemetic community, you don't want your wife or just a woman in Israel feeling as though she means nothing. Because without her, a lot of stuff wouldn't have transpired good in the scriptures, right? We like to dwell on the bad, but there's good that have come out of our women. And we showed last time how David's wife did what?
Saved his life.
Saved his life. Ain't no King David. Ain't no none of that if his wife didn't give him the right advice at the right time to get him out of harm's way. Right? That's important. And we also talked about how in order for him to listen to his wife's advice, he had to trust in it. So that's another factor that we got to look at. Wives, are you building the trust of your husband enough for if something happens and you give your opinion on a matter, that he'll listen to you? Right? That's something we got to deal with. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. It's a big one that they go to, other than that Genesis. You can pick it up at verse 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man.
See, look, sister. He your head, off the rip. You ain't even got to be married to the brother. He just your head. Taking stuff out of context, right? Go ahead.
And the head of Hamashiach is Elohim. And every man praying or prophesying, having the Messiah cover dishonor of his head.
Yeah.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head or her husband uncovered dishonor of her head, for that is even all one, as if she were shaven.
All right. Get me Ephesians chapter 5, verse 23. This is another one right here. I seen the brother throw on Facebook. Matter of fact, start at verse 22. Put on Facebook, well, why do a woman gotta submit to a man? What's up with that? Right? Again, when you don't understand your importance, when you don't understand your role, it's easy for somebody to creep in and say, y'all, somebody grab some seats for me. It's easy for somebody to creep in and just plant a seed into your mind and make you think that you're not as important when it comes to this Bible. It's very easy. Anybody that's not in a position of quote-unquote authority can almost be easily manipulated into thinking that they're nothing. So just like at a job, you got a manager, right? Then you got a supervisor. Then you got a team lead. Then you got a regular worker. Oh, they don't care about you. They get a supervisor way more benefits than they get you. You don't get paid vacations like that. You can't call off sick whenever you want to. You don't need to be in this company, right? It's easy to make you think that you don't mean nothing. But if you look at that company structure, none of the work that it pumps out would even pump out without that worker that's not the supervisor or that's not the manager. Those are the people that actually build the company, right? So we got to be aware. What was that next one I said? Ephesians 5 and 22.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Do what?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
All I'm supposed to do is submit to God. I ain't got to submit to no man. What you mean? I pay the bills. You got to submit to no man. Read.
As unto Yahuwah.
As what?
As unto Yahuwah.
Submit to him like I submit to the Father? No, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. That's slavery. Some of the responses out here, right? Read on.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
Here you go again. Talking about he the head. Right? Go ahead.
Even as Hamashiach is the head of the congregation, and he is the savior of the body.
Now we're going to touch on that in a minute. But when we see the wife got to submit to her husband, automatically, I know even if you don't feel like this right now, sisters, right? When you first seen that, did it make you feel like something like, right? I mean, just being honest, it make you feel some type of way. What you mean? All right? Do it say anywhere in the Bible where a man's supposed to submit to me? Somebody ever said that before? Read verse 21.
Verse 21. Submitting yourselves one to another.
Doing what?
Submitting yourselves one to another.
Say it one more time.
Submitting yourselves one to another.
Submitting yourselves one to another. Read on.
In the fear of Elohim.
So there you go, sisters. Brothers got to submit to y'all too. I say he already got that brother on the leash. He ain't doing that. Right? But it's a give and take. Right? With any relationship, it's a give and take. It's not always take. It's not always give. Right? Get Proverbs 31. Then we'll jump into this thing. So far, these are just those things that people bring up, trying to make it seem like, man, this Bible is all about a man. Oh, we ain't really hit the other one. A woman must keep silence in the congregation. Right? Them the big ones, right? What you mean? I can't say it. I can't cough. I can't head chew out loud. All right? But again, it's understanding that come along with these things is who he was talking to, why he said what he said, right? Go ahead. Proverbs 31 and 10.
Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can do what?
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find a virtuous woman? Virtuous woman, raise your hand in the house. Let me scared. If you're virtuous, you better say it out loud. Be proud. All right?
They all under construction.
Raise your hand if you got some work to do. All right? Oh, what you got? Get Proverbs 20 and 6.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 6. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness.
How many of y'all brothers in here is good? Righteous. All right? Go ahead.
But a faithful man who can find.
But a what?
But a faithful man who can find.
Same thing like with the women, right? We touched on this last time, right? Just like with a woman. You got brothers out here that say, I'm righteous. I'm good. Read that one more time from the top.
Yeah. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness.
His what is that?
His own goodness.
Most men will proclaim their own goodness. But a what now?
But a faithful man who can find.
But a faithful man who can find, which means that they're just as rare as virtuous women. Right? So brothers, don't be just hitting these women with Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31. You got to be a good man as well. You got to be a faithful man as well. Right? All right. How about the Proverbs 31?
Verse 10 again. Verse 10.
Matter of fact, hold that. Hey, Matt, read that Proverbs 20 and 6 in the Hallelujah.
Proverbs 20 and 6. Most men proclaim each his own kindness. But who finds a trustworthy man?
Who finds a what?
A trustworthy man.
Trustworthy man. Now, to be trustworthy, that's not only just to tell the truth, right? That's also to live it, right? Okay. Like I say, we gotta hit our brothers up today, as well as our sisters. Right? Proverbs 31 and 10 again.
Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband do safely trust in her.
The heart of her what?
of her husband do safely trust in her.
The heart of her husband safely trust in her, which means if you make a decision, your husband knows that y'all are on one mind, one accord. He trusts that decision, right? But if he don't, if you find yourself always saying something, your husband always questioning what you say, there's a disconnect between the trust between y'all two. Somewhere, some type of disconnect. You got to be able to mend that, right? He got to be able to safely trust in you with his heart. We're going to get into why, right? He read it.
The heart of her husband do safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
How long?
All the days of her life.
Can't get a week out of that? All the days of her life?
All the days of her life.
Whew. How many women say that's hard? How many women say that this part is hard? Read that again.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
How many women think that's hard? Right? We're going to get into an example of that. Read on.
She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
She was a hustler. The woman who sat at home and just took care of the house. She was outside of the home, bringing stuff into the home, right? Read that part again.
She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
She was a woman that actually did stuff around the house, outside of the house. It says she worked willingly with her hands. Not, oh, babe, wash the dishes for me. Man, I ain't washing no dishes. Oh, man, I just want something to eat right quick. You go ahead and whip me up something. Oh, you want a peanut butter and jelly? Or the garden need to be tended to outside. She don't go out there. She wait on you to do it. Right? This woman in Proverbs 31 was not a woman that just sat there and waited. She was about that action. And her husband was okay with her being about that action because he trusted her. Get Genesis chapter 3 again. Matter of fact, it might be chapter 2. Oh, let me see. Genesis 2 and 23.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 22. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. This is now bone of my bones.
This is what?
Bone of my bones.
And what else?
And flesh of my flesh.
This is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. For all intents and purposes, what is he saying? We won. This is me. This is mine. We're together. Right? This is why your husband should be able to safely trust in you, because you are him. Right? I know Brother Benaiah, when he was talking about the wine, right? His wife put that stuff together. I mean, you better bring home the right amount of money, man. Can't be giving away all the wine. Right? And you trust in her judgment when she's giving you advice like that, right? Indeed. Right? That's I say because he would have drunk it all. No doubt. Yeah, that's probably why we ain't got no bottles. He done drank it all up.
Store-bought wine.
Right? Let's get back to Proverbs 31. Now let me ask y'all, why is there not a chapter in the Bible speaking about a righteous man in this regard? Like, there's literally half of a chapter, I won't say a whole chapter because it started at verse 10, where the woman is talking about this virtuous woman the whole time. And men single this thing out. Where is it found for a man? Like, that whole layout. It's in there, but where is it? Come on, my scholars.
The whole layout part concerning the wife.
Concerning the husband, where it says a virtuous woman is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. Where's that layout for the man? Somebody got the answer. Somebody gave me something. What'd you say, Al?
I'm thinking someplace in Psalms.
Someplace in Psalms? Mm-hmm. Somebody give me something else. Nothing. One of my brothers, raise your book up. I'm about to show you exactly where it's at. Because I want you to read. Raise it up. All right, turn to every page in the Bible. The example is all through it. Right? So if anybody's supposed to have it together, who's supposed to have it together? You. Right? Go back to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 24. You said what verse? Too many names, man. This whole book is laid out on how you're supposed to be, your example, on how you're supposed to treat a woman, how you're supposed to treat your wife. Ephesians 5 and 24. Matter of fact, verse 23.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as the Mashiach is the head of the congregation.
Example number 1. As who?
Even as the Mashiach is the head of the congregation.
Even as he is the head of the congregation. That's some big shoes to fill. Right? But how many husbands we got in here? I'm a husband. That means you don't have a choice but to fill it. You got to. You entered into this union. It's your job. Right? He said it. He gave us an example that we ought to follow after. So we got to do it. Let's go to Genesis again. Chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him.
For Adam, it wasn't found a helpmeet. Now, according to our last study on this, what is the helpmeet? What does it mean? Sufficient help, right? Look up that word. Huh?
Azer. The Hebrew 58:28. Help, secure. Help, secure. One who helps. From aid, help.
A person who aids, secures, or helps. Right? Psalms 115, verse 9. One thing that we showed last time was that same word that was used as helpmeet for the woman was also used for who? You said the man? Not just a Mashiach, but who? The Most High. Right? Psalms 115:9.
Psalms chapter 115 and verse 9. O Israel, trust thou in Yahuwah. He is their help.
He is their what?
He is their help.
You got your Strong's Concordance, you see that this is the same exact word that he gave for the woman as the helpmeet.
Azer. Same word.
Right? Which means that the helpmeet that he made the woman is something that he already does himself. So again, I'm going to state this again, just to show you how important this is. The Most High gave the man a piece of himself. The same help that he provides, get Psalms 124:8. The same help that he provides, the same security, the same protection that he provides, guess what the woman is supposed to do? The same exact thing. That's why it says that your husband's heart is supposed to safely trust in you. Read that.
Psalms 124:8. Our help is in the name of Yahuwah, who made Shamayim and earth.
So what does that help?
That help? Same thing.
Same thing, right?
Azer.
Deuteronomy 33:7.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he says, hear Yahuwah, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou an help.
And be you a what?
A help to him from his enemies.
Same thing, right? Be a help to him from his enemies. David's wife was a help to him from his enemies. She helped him escape. Right? All right, let's move forward. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 3. Let's get into it. Anybody know about Abigail? Anybody remember anything about Abigail? Again, we're talking about the importance of a woman in the scriptures. If you don't already see her importance right now, it's a problem. Of Nabal, right? She was the wife of Nabal. Of a what now? Of a fool. Of a dang fool. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3.
1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal.
Matter of fact, verse 2. Sorry, y'all.
1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3. Verse 2. And there was a man in my own whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and was shearing his sheep in Carmel. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail.
What was Nabal's name mean?
Nabal's name means equals fool.
It was a fool. Off the rip. Names got meaning in the scriptures, and a lot of times when they say what they say, it actually mean that. He's a fool. Read on.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding.
What does the word Abigail mean? The name Abigail, I'm sorry.
The name Abigail is from the Hebrew H26. It says, my father is joy.
My father is joy, right? Whole opposite of fool. Let's see something. It says she was a woman of good what?
And Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding.
What does that word mean right there? She was a woman of good understanding.
From the Hebrew word H7922, Sekel, prudent, insight, understanding. Prudent, good sense, insight, understanding.
She had good sense, right? She wasn't no dummy, right? Read on.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish.
He was what?
He was churlish.
What does the word churlish mean?
The Hebrew word 87186. Hard, cruel, severe, obstinate.
This is the complete opposite to this woman, right? The reason why I'm going into the definitions before we get into the story is just to show you a picture of how this marriage looked before we get into the story, all right? Go ahead.
Of countenance, but the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb.
So he was an evil man, evil in his doings, just a fool, right? Hold what you got. Get Proverbs 31 again. Pick it up at verse 12.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
Hold on to that statement. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Let me ask y'all women in here. If you got a man that's churlish, evil, a downright fool, that's your husband though, you gonna always be good to him? He just downright evil to you. Right now, today, are you gonna always be good to him? I need honesty. What'd you say, Mom? What'd you say, Mom? Nope. No doubt. What say you, sir? Anybody that say they will? All right. So, but this Proverbs 31 woman, it says that she was good and not evil to him all the days of her life. Let's see if this actually play out. Go back to 1 Samuel.
1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers, now thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel.
When you was over here with us, y'all people was protected. Your flock was protected. Nobody came and harmed you. Nobody stole nothing from you. When they were here and you weren't, we held you down. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers, now thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel. Ask thy young men, and they will shew you. Wherefore, let thy young men find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray you, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David.
So he says, look, I tell you, you know what I'm saying? We treated them good when they was out here. They had no problems, no issues. So when we come through there, break us off a little something. That's all we need. Right? You rich now. He said that old man that live in prosperity. You got 1,000 this, 1,000 that. You know what I'm saying? Just break us off a little bit. That's all. Right? Would anybody have a problem with that? They protected your flock the whole nine. Now I done grew. You done got rich off of it. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all these words in the name of David, and ceased.
In the name of who?
In the name of David.
Who was David at this time? He was the king. So this ain't no regular dude sending people to you. This the man right here. Read.
And ceased. And Nabal answered David's servant and said, Who is David?
Who is David? And? Right? He not asking who is David, like, who is he? Like, who is he? I said, man, who is David, dog? He want to come up in here asking for who is this guy? Right? Read.
And who is the son of Jesse?
If he don't know David, why are you talking about who the son of Jesse? Right? Read on.
There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men?
So he's saying, look, it's a bunch of people that say that they with this person and with that person. You know what I'm saying? So you think I'm about to take food off my table to give it to you? You crazy? Now, the crazy thing about that is he told them, and the statement that David made is, go ask your people. They'll let you know that we held him down, right? So he decided he's not going to do that, right? Man, go ahead with all that. Read on.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men, whom I know not whence they be?
Mm-hmm.
So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings.
They ain't get bucked with him. They ain't try to get down on him or nothing. They're like, all right, cool. Went back and told David. Read on.
And David said unto his men, Gird ye every man his sword. And they girded every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff.
Man, we about to ride on this fool. Literally. That's what his name means. We about to ride on this fool. He gonna turn the king down? What? After we held him down when he was over here? Read on.
But one of the young men told Abigail.
One of the young men told who?
Abigail.
His wife. Right? Now it says that she's supposed to do good and not evil to her husband all the days of her life. Now, if he was evil, that means that there was some point of time that he may have been evil to her. Put that past this evil fool. Right? So if somebody tell her, yo, they about to come try to ride on your husband. You know what I'm saying? A normal woman, I won't say normal, but women nowadays would be like, what? Where they gonna be at? Where I need to have him at? Right? Straight up. He rich. You know what I'm saying? And he evil to me.
I saw that capture.
Straight up. Right? What do I need to do to get him gone? Well, let's see what she did.
Verse 14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, Behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them.
He did what?
He railed on them.
Barked on him. Now, what's wrong with him? Read.
But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt. Neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the fields.
So he said, this is the same thing, right? His man's just saying, look, man, they ain't did no harm to us. We was good when they was with us. When we was all in the fields together, everything was straight. Read.
They were a wall unto us both by night and day.
What did he mean when he said they were a wall to us? Protection. Right? Read.
They were a wall unto us both by night and day. All the while we were with them, keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do.
Now the servant is coming and asking the wife, what you gonna do? The servant ain't going to try to do something on his own. He wouldn't ask the wife, which means she had to hold some type of importance for him to even think to go to the wife. Man, sister, man, look, I don't know what's wrong, man. What dude? Well, he just tricked on the king. What you gonna do? All right? We don't.
For evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial.
Yes. Evil is determined. That son of Belial. You know what I'm saying? He's so stupid. Right? Read.
That a man cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of that wine, and 5 sheep ready dressed, and 5 measures of parched corn, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on donkeys. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And it was so.
No, why she ain't tell her husband? You're a fool. You would have stopped her. Right? So she done sent all of this stuff. Look, man, y'all hurry up and get to him before they get back here. And I'm coming. Read.
Verse 20. And it was so, as she rode on the donkey, that she came down by the convert of the hill. And behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David had said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow have in the wilderness, so that nothing was missing of all that pertained unto him, and he hath required me evil for good.
So I done did all this for nothing. That lightly. We know David a bloody man. David ain't asking no questions. He don't want to go and talk. He ain't trying to hear I'm sorry. You had the opportunity. Just a sidebar. If we were we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead.
Verse 22. So and more also do Elohim unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning, like any that pisseth against the wall.
He said, man, he do all to my enemies if I don't leave this man and everything that's about this man dead. Dogs, cats, him, his kids, the women, I don't care what it is. I'm killing everything. Because David pissed. So the wilderness, this the thanks I get. Right? We know.
Verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hastened and lighted off the donkey and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground. And said, Upon me, my lord, upon me, let this iniquity be.
Whoa. What did she say?
And fell at his feet and said, Upon me, my lord, upon me, let this iniquity be.
This woman came in and stood in and said, Kill me.
For
everything that he did, for this evil and churlish man, everything that he did, let it fall on me. How many of y'all are willing to do that? It's a kind of hard one, right? So no matter how evil this man is, she entered into a union with him. So I got to do what it takes to protect this man because I am his help me.
Flesh of his flesh, bone of his bone.
Flesh of his flesh, bone of his bone. Let me ask y'all a question. Did not Mashiach do the same thing with the Father? Let their iniquity do what? Right? No. If she don't do what she do, what happens? Everybody dies. Sound real familiar, man. Right? But if there's not a woman that's willing to do this for her husband, we don't get this story. If it's not a woman in here willing to do this for her husband, we don't get what's about to happen in the end. Read on.
Verse 24. And fell at his feet and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thine handmaid.
Give me permission to speak to everybody around here. I need to let you hear this. Let me talk. Read.
Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal.
Don't pay him no attention. Yeah, he a fool. Don't pay him no attention though. Read.
For as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him.
He a fool. Right? Read.
But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst sin. Now, therefore, my Lord, as Yahuwah liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing Yahuwah hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood.
Hold on. What did she just say? She said, who did what now? She said, Yahuwah withholding you from coming to shed blood. Is she telling the truth or is she telling a lie? That's the truth. Because hadn't my man told her, and she went and did what she did, he was about to go kill her. But watch what she say afterward to confirm that. Go ahead.
Now, therefore, verse 26, now, therefore, my Lord, as Yahuwah liveth, as thy soul liveth, seeing Yahuwah hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself.
Avenging what?
Avenging thyself.
For avenging your what?
Yourself.
Vengeance is whose? It said, vengeance is Yah, saith the Most High. She was a woman of good understanding. Right? He about to come and avenge himself. So not only did she save, or is she trying to save her husband, she actually talking some sense into David too. So again, I ask, are you willing to lay your life down for your husband? Because not only did she do that for her husband, but she was given the game to give David on a whole nother level. But I guess women don't mean nothing in the scriptures, right? You read.
And from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies and they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which thine handmaid have brought unto my Lord, let even be unto thy young men that follow my Lord. I pray thee.
She said, everything that I just gave, don't let this just be for you. Let this be for everybody that came with you. Yes, man, whatever we got, here, everything. Right? Read.
I pray you, forgive the trespass of your handmaid.
Of your who?
Of your handmaid.
What she do wrong? It's her husband did it. Read.
For Yahuwah will certainly make my Lord a sure house.
A what house?
A sure house.
Our house gotta stand. Right? Read.
For my Lord fighteth the battles of Yahuwah, and evil have not been found in thee all thy days.
Listen, you fight the battles of the Most High. They ain't found a lick of evil in you all your days. Don't taint your record. Don't come over here and just remember. All he did was say, man, who was David? This, that, and the third. It ain't like he killed somebody. David was about to go ride on him without the permission of the Most High. All right, we see, and Yahuwah said, gird you upon your loins and go and kill the fool. Right? Read.
Yet a man is risen to pursue you and seek thy soul, but the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundles of life with Yahuwah thy Elohim, and thy soul of thine enemies. Them shall he sling out as of the middle of a sling.
Them shall who sling out? Who is she talking about that's going to do the work? Who's going to do the killing for David? The Most High, right? Read.
And it shall come to pass, when Yahuwah shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he hath spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel, that this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that thou hast shed blood causeless, or that my Lord hath avenged himself.
So she just said, when all this stuff is said and done, it's going to be to where you ain't just shed blood causelessly. right? You didn't have a reason to go and kill him because David wasn't thinking to sit down and talk with him, barter with him. I'm about to go kill everything. Read.
But when Yahuwah shall have dealt well with my Lord, then remember thine handmaid.
But when Yahuwah deal with him, remember me. So what happened after that?
And David said to Abigail, Blessed be Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. Which sent you this day to meet me.
The Most High sent this woman. Right? We got to understand, ladies, y'all got to understand the role that you play as a virtuous woman could save somebody's life, even your own. Because hadn't she went, she'd have been dead too. But she didn't go there thinking about herself. She went there thinking about her husband. Right? Let's see.
Verse 33. And blessed be thy advice.
Blessed be your what?
Advice.
Your advice. Oh, the woman can't tell me nothing. Yeah, right. Read.
And blessed be thou, which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with mine own hand.
Not with the hand of Yahuwah, but with his own hand. Let's see what happened after that.
For in very deed, as Yahuwah Elohim of Israel liveth, which have kept me back from hurting you.
Kept me back from hurting who?
From hurting you.
Because I was going to kill everything moving. That's David. Read.
Except thou hast hastened and come to meet me. Surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall.
I'm telling you, I'm glad you came. I was going to kill you too, sister. I wasn't leaving nothing. That can pee was going to die. Right? So not only did she protect her husband, but she also saved David from having to deal with the Most High for doing this on his own. Read on.
Verse 35. So David received her hand, that which she had brought him, and said unto her, Go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice.
I have what?
I have listened to your voice.
I listened to you. I've been listening to no woman. You see what happened with Adam and Eve. It's a difference between righteousness and unrighteousness. Right? Read on.
And have accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held the feast in his house.
I knew he wasn't going to come down here, man.
Scary nigga.
He wasn't about that life. I told off the king. Right? He an evil man. He don't care. He done had a big old feast with all his people. Read.
And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king.
Like the feast of a what?
Of a king.
Oh, man, we eating good. Right? Read on.
Nabal's heart was merry within him, but he was very drunken.
He was drunk. He was happy. Right? Read.
Wherefore she told him nothing, less or more, until the morning light. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal.
When he sobered up, she didn't want to tell him why he was drunk. So when he sobered up, what happened?
And his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him.
That his heart did what?
His heart died within him, and he became as a stone. And it came to pass about 10 days after that Yahuwah smote Nabal.
That who?
Yahuwah smote Nabal.
Yahuwah is a man of war. Vengeance is Yahuwah's. It's never for us to take upon ourselves. And she said, my house is going to be sure. You just got to let Yahuwah do what he going to do to Nabal. Right? Read.
And it came to pass about 10 days after that Yahuwah smote Nabal, that he died. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be Yahuwah, that have pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and have kept his servant from evil.
And have kept his servant from what?
From evil.
Because if he would have went and killed that man, his blood would have been on his hands. Read.
For Yahuwah hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife.
You might as well go ahead and join the team. Just talk. But y'all see what happened, right? By her doing what she did, she ended up saving her life and the lives of a bunch of people that were innocent. Right? So again, I ask, even though it's hard, how many of y'all can do good and not evil to your husbands all the days of your life? Huh?
Yeah, the screen not playing.
One moment.
Look at your phone. It's playing.
That was way. Okay. All right. So again, I'm gonna ask the question again. How many of y'all can do good and not evil all the days of his life? Just one? Good grief. You might be saving yourself. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, work in progress, right? It's something that we got to get used to. Although it's not the taught way to act, right? Coming up in this society, we do understand that it's benefits to actually be in this Proverbs 31 woman. And it's not just to be a quote-unquote slave to your husband. Because if you look at this Proverbs 31 woman and you say that she's a slave to her husband, you have to reconsider what you think about this walk. We're going to get into that too. Brothers, look at Ezekiel chapter 16. Ezekiel 16 and verse 3.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse.
Actually, before you start there, go back to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 23. I want to drive this point home right quick.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the congregation, the savior of the body.
So it says that he is the savior of the body. He the head of the wife, the savior of the body, right? With him comparing a husband to Mashiach, that means that we got to act like Mashiach, right? Why would it compare a husband to Mashiach? Real simple answer, not a trick question. Nope. Nope. Because our head is Mashiach, but why? What's the reason? Why does it compare a husband to Mashiach? What were you saying, bro?
Like an example to look to.
Nothing who to look to. Yeah. It's like super simple. No, not the Most High.
Israel.
Israel was compared to a woman, right? He married us, right? Yeah, we did. But he gave the example himself. I was a husband to you, so follow after my example, right? I saved you. Save your wife, right? He gave the example for us to be able to follow because he was a husband, right? In Exodus chapter 24. Where was we at first?
Ezekiel 16.
No, not Ezekiel 16 yet.
Exodus what?
Exodus 24. No, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 24.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 24. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Verse 18. This verse 18 comes right after the reading of the commandments, right? For the children of Israel. Verse 18.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And when Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. And the far off. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from Samaim. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold.
So he was given like a marriage contract, right? And what did the people say? All these things we what? We will do. He married us, right? So at that particular time, the children of Israel were supposed to be a what? A wife. But what type of woman? A virtuous woman. Because they now had a man who was a trustworthy or faithful man, right? Ezekiel 16. See something. Pick it up at verse 3. Excuse me.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 3. And say, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day that thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to suckle thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
You was nothing when I found you. You were absolutely nothing. Now, is this to say that every woman that get with a husband is nothing? No, but he's giving the example of the children of Israel, right? Read on.
None I pity thee to do any of these unto you, to have compassion upon you. But thou wast cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born. And when I passed by thee, and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live.
He told him to do what?
Live.
Oh, what you got? Get Jeremiah 31:32.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with your fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them.
Although I was a what?
A husband unto them.
So all of these things that he's speaking about in Ezekiel 16 was all of that time before, when we was in the wilderness, right? All the time before that, how we were a downtrodden people. We were a people that didn't have no morals, so to speak, at the time. Right? He said, when I saw you, I swaddled you. I took care of you. When you was in your blood, I told you to live. Right? Read. Matter of fact, go back to Ezekiel 16. I'm sorry.
Ezekiel 16. Verse 6. And when I passed by thee, and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great.
So what did he do to his wife? He increased her, right? What does that mean in layman's terms? He blessed her, but what? He elevated her, right? He took her from the state that she was in when he married her and built her up, not tear her down, right? You got to speak life into your woman, right? You can't be all the time. You got to let her know what she means to you, right? Most importantly, you have to provide that life for your wife. How many brothers in here doing that? Right? Providing a lifestyle for your mate. Right? Okay. So at this point in time, a man that's doing that for his woman deserves a woman that's a Proverbs 31 woman, right? All right. Let's keep on going. Good. Yep.
Verse 7. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments, fastened, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love.
Now when I passed, he done already built her up. He said, now when I pass by you, what did he do?
And I spread my skirt over thee.
Oh, what you got? Get Isaiah 54 and 5. What does it mean to spread your skirt over somebody? To cover. But what is it another term for? To marry him. All right? Like the sister told Boaz, cover me with your skirt. You got to ask him to marry him.
Isaiah chapter 50, you said what?
54 and verse 5.
Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband, Yahuwah of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Kodesh one of Israel, the Elohim of the whole earth, shall he be called. For Yahuwah have called thee as a woman forsaken.
He called you as a woman what?
Forsaken.
He called you as a woman forsaken. Read on.
And grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith Elohim.
He called you when you was nothing, and brought you back and made you something. Right? Now, brothers, I'm not saying that the women, when you get to them, are like this. What I'm saying is when you get your woman, you're supposed to elevate her. Don't leave her at a state to where she thinks she a doormat. Because you can't get a Proverbs 31 woman out of somebody that you can't expect a Proverbs 31 woman out of a woman that you treat like a doormat. Right? Can't expect it. Now, women, I'm not saying you ain't supposed to do it. What I'm saying is, men, you can't expect it. That makes sense? Go back to Ezekiel 16. You still got to get somewhere.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 8. Now when I passed by you and looked upon you, behold, thy time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over you and covered your nakedness. Yea, I swear unto you and entered into a covenant with you, saith Yahuwah Elohim, and thou becamest mine.
You became mine. Read.
Then I washed thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed you with oil. I clothed you also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin.
With did what?
And shod thee with badger skin.
Hey, what else was covered with badger skin? Temple, right? Okay. Go ahead.
I clothed thee with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and girt thee about with fine linen, and covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and put bracelets upon your hands, and chains on thy neck, and I put a jewel on thy forehead.
So he decked this woman out. We done talked about this before, right? Had her looking good, smelling good, feeling good, right? Your wife is supposed to be a reflection of who? Of you. So he giving you the, man, this is what I did for you. I laid it all out for you, right? Read on.
And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. Thus was thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour.
You did what?
Thou didst eat fine flour.
When he say fine flour, he ain't just talking about you ate some regular old stuff. I gave you the best of the best. You wasn't eating ramen noodles at the table. You was eating steak. Right? Credo.
And honey and oil, and thou was exceeding beautiful.
You was what?
Exceeding beautiful.
When I met you, you was drowning in your blood, polluted. He said, but now you are what?
Exceeding beautiful.
How many women in here think they're beautiful? This man said exceeding that. He didn't say beautiful. He said exceeding beautiful. Right?
Yes.
Beyond beautiful. When you walk in the room, it's like, oh, right? Read on.
Thou was decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and was exceeding beautiful. And thou didst prosper into a kingdom. And thou renown went forth among the heathens for thy beauty. He
said that your renown went on from your beauty among the heathens, among the same people that wouldn't even give you a chance. Right? The same people that left you in your blood. Right? Now, what happens when a woman, from a woman's perspective, I don't want, right? Because this is what the brothers are supposed to do to their wife. Right? What happens when a woman gets complacent in a marriage? Like, you know how at the beginning you start to do all of the things that, oh, man, you know, this will make you smile. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be real sweet this time. I ain't gonna argue with you. Right? What happens when you get complacent? You get settled down and you're like, oh, he mad, he ain't going nowhere now. What happened? Conflict? Why? Not from the brothers, though. I want to hear from the women. What happened? You let him answer this? What happened? Talk too much now? Come on. You know, everybody saying that now. Things start to change, right? You get married. Girl, we about to get married. Right? You're doing any and everything. You're cooking for them. You're doing this. You're doing that. The whole 9 yards. But what happens when that wear off? All right? Exodus chapter 15, verse 24. Start off as a Proverbs 31 woman.
Exodus 15 what?
15 to 24. Yep, 15 to verse 24.
Exodus chapter 15 and verse 24.
Matter of fact, start at verse 1.
Exodus chapter 15 and verse 1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto Yahuwah, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahuwah, for he hath triumphed gloriously. For the horse and his rider hath he drowned. See, Yahuwah is my strength and my song.
He is my what?
He is my strength and my song.
He's my strength and my song. This is all the children of Israel together, right? His wife, right? And he just got and saved from where? Married him on the mountain. The whole nine, right? Read.
Yahuwah is my strength and song. He has become my salvation. He is my Elohim, and I will prepare him a habitation.
I will do what?
Prepare him a habitation.
What is that saying right there? I will prepare him a habitation. Prepare him a home. It's all the children of Israel together singing this stuff, right? With Moses, right? Think about all this stuff, right? He done did this and that for me. I'm gonna make sure this house a home for him. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? Read on.
My father's Elohim, and I will exalt him. Yahuwah is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host have he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea.
He better than the last people that had me. Right? Read.
The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Yahuwah, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Yahuwah, have dashed in pieces the enemy.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Who is like unto you?
Who is like you? Ain't nobody like you. Right? Read.
O Yahuwah among the gods, who is like you? Glorious in Kodeshness, fearful in praise, doing wonders. Thou stretches out thy right hand, and the earth swallowed them.
Ain't nobody like the one I got. No one can do me better. Right? Read.
Thou in thy mercy hast led forth thy people, which thou hast redeemed.
Which you have what?
Thou hast in thy mercy hast led forth thy people, which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength, habitation.
Yeah.
The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine.
All right, hold what you got. Now, that, what is this, the right word, anesthesia or nostalgia? What is that when you like in that nostalgia, right? That's, oh man, he just did this for us. We married, this and that. I'm going to do this for him, that for him, right? All that good stuff that you intend on doing. Read verse 24 of the same chapter.
After the nostalgia wear off.
After they said, he is our strength, he is our this, he is our that. What they say?
And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink?
What we gonna drink? 4, 5, 6 verses up, he was all that in the back of church. Read.
And he cried unto Yahuwah, and Yahuwah shewed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them.
So even though they got to talking that mess, they got to complaining, guess what the husband did? I got you, don't worry about that. But it was the fact that she complained in the first place. Right? After he just did all he did. Right? This ever happened to any of y'all? At any point in time? Exodus 17, verse 3. Matter of fact, verse 17 and verse 1.
Exodus chapter 17 and verse 1. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandments of Yahuwah, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said, why chide you with me? Wherefore do you tempt Yahuwah?
Why is you tempting this man? He just brought us out of Egypt. The last time y'all got to acting crazy, he gave us water, man. Just chill out. We don't.
And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?
You was just saying that he your strength and he this and he that. Yeah, now you done brought us up out here just to kill us. Right? That complaining. That men call it nagging. Right? Constantly. This is not something that a Proverbs 31 woman would do. How do you expect your husband to continue to do the things that he's supposed to do if you fighting with him at every turn? Not that he ain't supposed to do it, but how do you expect him to do it? See how that flipped from the last time with the men, how you expect it, right? He read.
Verse 4, and Moses cried unto Yahuwah, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to kill me. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take it in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel.
So he did it, right? Numbers chapter 14, verse 2.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would Elohim that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Elohim had died in this wilderness?
He said, would he rather us had died? Right? Again, this is the same Elohim, the same power that brought them out from under heavy bondage. And you got the audacity to ask this. Why would he bring you out in the first place if he was just going to kill you? That's the same thing that happens in these marriages, right? You get complacent. Things don't happen your way, when you want it, how you want it. What you do? Here you go. Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? What's wrong with you with this? You ain't did this. You ain't did that. You ain't cut the grass. You ain't did, right? That's not a Proverbs 31 woman. Right? But men, you see, even though the complaining, the murmuring, all of that stuff is going on, what is Yah doing every time? He's still obliged. This is the example that he set forth from us. It's not up to us to say, man, you keep on complaining. I'm not doing nothing. No. Go ahead, about your business. No, you keep on talking about it. No. That's not your job. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do, like he did with us. That's your job. But ladies, don't make the job harder than what they got to do. Right? What was we at?
We're at verse 2.
Read that.
And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, with Elohim that we had died in the land of Egypt, or with Elohim that we had died in the wilderness. And wherefore have Yahuwah brought us into this land to fall by the sword, or that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Would it be better for us to go back? But I was better off by myself. I mean, y'all done thought that before. Or done said it before. Right? But not only is they saying it, they saying this about Yah. Exodus 32 and verse 1. It's two things that we're looking at right here, man.
When this woman is a Proverbs 31 woman, she gonna give you the world and some. But she also gotta have somebody that she believe in to want to do this stuff for. You gotta be the man that he wants you to be in order for you to receive those type of blessings, right? You can't just be out here a sluggard. You can't be somebody that's not willing to go and get it for your family. You can't be somebody that don't speak life into your wife. You can't be somebody that sit around and make your wife feel like little to nothing, because that's not what he did to us. And if you do those things that are conducive to a successful marriage, men, your wife should happily be a Proverbs 31 woman. Wives, if you do those things that are conducive to a successful marriage, your husband will have no issue with doing those things that he's supposed to do and lay his life down for his wife. Right? Exodus 32:1.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
Do what now?
Make us gods.
He just brought us up out of Egypt, but look, Moses gone. Make us a god. We're going to do it our own way. I mean, women don't went through that before. All right. Read.
Make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we don't know what has become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in your ears of your wives, of your sons, and their daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron, and received them at their hand.
So let me ask y'all a question. Just because they couldn't see the Most High, and because they didn't have Moses there, did that mean that Yah was not there for the children of Israel? So when your husband got to work late hours, is it that he don't care about you? You know how that happened, right? You've been gone for 10 hours. You don't love me no more. You don't care about me. No, I'm providing for our family. Or I'm helping to provide for somebody else's family, but we straight though. Right? You can't take things into your own hands and make your own assumptions when something like this happens. Because did anything happen to the children of Israel while they were in the wilderness and Moses was gone? No. They were straight, right? So what happens after you hear that nagging over and over and over again, right? What happens to that man that was just doing everything for you? What do we turn into? Said stressed. What else? Appalled?
Nabal.
Oh, Nabal? You turn into a fool? Hey, we can't put that on. We can't put that on Sister Abigail. What'd you say, Elder Martin? He don't be himself. Say that one more time. He don't be himself. Okay. Get verse 32. Matter of fact, start at verse Start at verse 30.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, You have sinned a great sin, and now will I go up unto Yahuwah, peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sins. And Moses returned unto Yahuwah and said, Oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold.
Oh, what you got? Get verse 7. Same chapter. I'm going backwards.
Verse 7. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest up out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
For who people?
Your people, which thou broughtest up out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves.
He just married the children of Israel. Now he called them his people. Right? Read.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way.
Aside who?
Quickly.
How soon you forget where you were, what I've done for you, the road that we traveled together. How quickly you forget, and you got the audacity to do what you're doing to me. Right? How many people in these marriages in here have said some things that were almost hard to come back from? Some things, or said or done some things that it was like, you know what, this is the end of the road. Can't go no further from this. Right? It's been some times, right? We got to check that. Because if you are a faithful, trustworthy man, if you're a Proverbs 31 type of woman, this don't happen. We don't. Let's see what he said.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded you. They have made them a molten calf and worship it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy Elohim, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Yeah.
Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them.
And I may what?
I may consume them.
Now I'm gonna kill them. Get out of my way. I can't deal with this no more. Read.
And I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses begged Yahuwah, his Elohim, and said, Yahuwah, why dost thou wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand?
So he says that he was getting ready to kill the children of Israel. Right?
Moses switched it back on him.
Moses turned it on him. Right? Just like kind of how David was getting ready to do with Abigail's husband, right? David was getting ready to go and murk my man. But Abigail had to make him think. Hold on, David. You can't be doing this on your own. Let y'all handle that. So Moses had to flip it back on him and say, whoa, how you gonna get that mad at your people when you already told them you was gonna do A, B, and C for them? Right? Read.
Wherefore stood the Egyptians, verse 11, and Moses begged Yahuwah his Elohim and said, Why dost thou wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with a great and powerful and mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from their fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servant, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them,
Remember your covenant. Remember what you promised. You remember when you got married? You remember when you put that document together and you signed on that line? You made a promise. You made an oath, not only to your spouse, but to the Most High. You got to be able to work that thing out. Right? But how do you work something out if you're not changing your actions? You got to do something different. You got to speak something different. You got to act differently. Because something got you to this point. Something made you say, I'm getting ready to forget it all. You got to check that. Y'all didn't say, you know what? But still, they tripping. They doing this, they doing that. Yeah, after Moses came to him and presented that to him, what did y'all do right after that? What did he do? Anybody know? After Moses presented to him that, hey, you got to remember the covenant you made. You know what I'm saying? You can't act like you can't kill all the people off. Did y'all come back and say, but still, they was tripping. But still, you hollered at me. But still, right? Why I got to do this for you if you ain't did this for me? He didn't come back with something like that. The Most High did what? Verse 14.
Verse 14. And Yahuwah repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people.
Not that he sinned or committed a sin, but he took back the thought that he was going to kill him. Oh, man, I can't do that. You're right. I did promise Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? You got to examine yourself in the situation. You can't be, well, I'm only doing this because you doing this. Then who's right and who's wrong? Wrong for wrong? That's not Proverbs 31. That's not Proverbs 20 and 6. You got to check that, right? And since we're talking about the empowerment or the empowering of our women, guess who holds the keys? You. You got the power to make that change. No matter how mad your husband is at you, if you change the way you act, all that stuff will go away. They don't know how to hold grudges that long. You know what I'm saying? But you got to act accordingly. You got a great power in your relationship. I mean, you got a great responsibility. So we're going to end it on that. I know we've been going pretty long today. But for part 3, we're going to actually get into some of the thoughts that our women deal with, right? As far as wanting to hold a position of power in a relationship. Being facetious in their actions, so to speak. Bucking against your husband and bucking against the system, so to speak. All of these things play a detrimental role to not only your relationship, but to your salvation. Get Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22 again. We'll end on that because instruction have to follow after that instruction. No matter what, the commandments are the commandments. Are we agreeing? Right? So if you don't follow the commandments, and he gives you a punishment for following those commandments, for not following those commandments, is it contingent on anybody else other than you? So if he tells you keep the Sabbath day and keep it holy, can you say, well, my job won't let me get it off? Can you say that and be justified? Because if he come and he visit you for that, is he visiting you for what your job couldn't do for you or for what you didn't do for him? So when you look at your marriage and you see and say, well, my husband is acting like this, he acting like that, he don't want to do this for me, he don't want to do that for me, he gave you a job. So if you don't follow after the job that he gave you, when he come and he see you for that, can you say, but he, are you going to be able to say that? No. Vice versa with the men, right? Ephesians 5 and 22.
Ephesians 5 and 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto Yahuwah, as unto Yahuwah.
You are not just submitting yourself to your husband. You have to do this thing like this is Yah standing in front of you. I bet you wouldn't treat him like that. I guarantee it. When he spoke to the children of Israel, it was in a loud, thunderous voice, right? You ain't hear nobody say, you ain't about to holler at me. You hear that? Now, I ain't saying brothers holler at your wives because we ain't supposed to be doing that either. Right? Treat your wife with respect. Right? You got to treat your husband as if you're treating the Father himself. That's what Abigail did. Next verse.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as a Mashiach is the head of the congregation, and he is the Savior of the body.
That Say shalom. Questions, comments, cuss outs like I asked last time. Your sister's gonna cuss a brother out for anything I said. Why did he? Go back. Exodus 32:1. The question was, why did Aaron, with all this stuff going on, why did Aaron turn around and actually make those idols for the people?
Exodus chapter.
Indeed.
Gave in pure person. Exodus 32:1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us Elohims, which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And when he had received it, and fastened it with a graving tool, and after he had made a molten calf, and they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made.
Did they ask Aaron to build an altar? No? Read on.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation.
Did they ask him to make a proclamation? Go ahead.
Tomorrow is a feast to Yahuwah.
Did they ask him to call this image Yahuwah? Read on.
And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And people sat down to eat, to drink, and rose up to play.
Verse 32. Verse 1. What did they tell Moses? Yeah, what did the people tell Aaron to do? Huh? Make us God. Everything that Aaron did outside of that was completely on him. So the question is, why did Aaron do it, right? Let's get Exodus 32 and verse 19.
Exodus chapter 32 and 19. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands, and he brake them beneath the mount, and took the calf which they had made, and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel to drink it. And Moses said unto Aaron.
Moses said, what now? Now this is the conversation. Now after he did that, made them drink it the whole nine. Now he about to go holler at his brother. What did he say to him?
And Moses said unto Aaron, What is this people unto you? And thou hast brought so great a sin upon them.
Now he said, what did they do to you? Now it's not like the reason Moses is asking this question is because he knows how the people get down. Man, they gonna stone me if I don't do this, right? What was his response?
And Aaron said, Let not thine anger of mine Lord wax hot.
Don't get mad at me, man.
Thou knowest the people, that they are set on mischief.
You know these people set on mischief. But again, they told Aaron to make them, right? To do all of the rest of the stuff. So was it that the people were set on mischief? Or was it in himself to do as well? He was too. So I never give the credit just to the children of Israel for them, you know what I'm saying, for him making it. But let's see what he said right after that. Go ahead.
But they said unto me, make us gods which shall go before us.
Which he told the truth. Read.
For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what has become of him.
The truth. Read.
And I said unto them, whosoever have any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then,
the truth. Then what happened?
Then I cast it into the fire, and it came out a calf.
A lie. See, all I said was, give me your gold. I threw it in the fire, and that thing came out of calf. It was a miracle. He fashioned that thing. He made that thing himself. Nobody asked him to make a calf. Y'all notice that? Nobody said, make us a calf. He did that himself. But then he just lied right here. Mischief was set in Aaron's heart just like everybody else's. Because although he was made the speaker of Moses, although he was set in a position that everybody else wasn't, he just coming out of Egypt like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else? Question? Nope. All right. That we say shalom. Yeah. For anybody on the chat got any questions before we close out?
I want to say one thing about this whole thing about Yahuwah repenting and whatnot. I know somebody will say, now, what kind of God is that that'll have to be sorry or repent? We actually broke the contract with him. So we got every right to do what he was about to do. Because the agreement that he made, he said it in the beginning. You shall have no other gods before me. You don't supposed to make no fake gods. They did all of this stuff. Therefore, you have breached the contract. So if he actually kill you, he within his right to do it. So I know it's somebody probably watching. See, that's why I don't believe in that stuff. No, he got the right to do it because you broke the contract.
Indeed. So that's it. I don't see no questions on the chat. So until next week. Oh, don't forget the gathering is coming up, August 18th. Make sure you register. We'll see y'all then. Shalom.